In this final part of the episode, I just wanted to show you what order of operations looks like with decimals. First, I will show you how to do the calculations one step at a time using a very basic calculator, such as what comes with your phone or what comes with Windows 11. And then we'll talk about how we can find these values more efficiently using the graphing calculator, for example. So if someone asked me to calculate negative 2.1 plus parentheses 3.2 squared plus negative 4.1 cubed, the first thing that I would do here, following PEMDAS, is I would complete these operations in the parentheses. And in the parentheses, I have two exponents to calculate, and then after that, I have an addition. So if I work on the two exponents in the parentheses, the first thing I'll need to find is what is 3.2 squared. So in a basic calculator, 3.2 raised to the power 2 gives me back 10.24. And then to calculate this other exponent, where I have negative 4.1 cubed, on the Windows 10 calculator, I can type in 4.1, then make it negative. Here's that minus sign popped up as a result of hitting this symbol. And then I want to raise that value to the power 3. And I get negative 68.921. And let's check, make sure this makes sense. I have taken a negative number and I've raised it to an odd power. So this would be negative times negative times negative. This would be an odd number of minus signs. So I should definitely get an odd result from this calculation. I should definitely get a negative result from this calculation. Negative 68.921. So now that I've completed the exponents, the next thing I need to do is complete the addition inside the parentheses. So if I do 10.24 and then I add the negative of 68, adding the negative is equivalent to subtracting. So I can do 10.24 minus 68.921, and that gives me negative 58.681. Now, all I have to do is finish this calculation. Take negative 2.1 and combine it with negative 58.681. So to that end, I'll do 2.1 negative, and then I will think about subtracting 58.681 from that, since adding a negative is equivalent to subtracting. In total, I get negative 60.781. So using PEMDAS, we can just take these calculations one at a time. Alternatively, if you have access to a graphing calculator, you can use the graphing calculator to help you with the calculations. And here you can enter in the expression basically exactly as it is written. The only thing that you have to be careful about when using the graphing calculator is to make sure that you are getting the difference between the make it negative symbol down here at the bottom right and the subtraction symbol here at the right side of the calculator. If I want to start typing this expression, this minus attached to the 2.1 with nothing in front of it is saying take 2.1 and make it negative. So I'm going to use the make it negative symbol and then type 2.1 after that. Then addition, then parentheses, then the number 3.2, and here's raise it to the power 2. Now I would like to keep typing, but the cursor of the calculator is still up here in the exponent level. So to get the cursor out from this exponent, I'm going to hit the right button on the calculator, this right button that has just been highlighted here in red, and that'll move the cursor out of the exponent. The next thing I need to type is the addition symbol, and then parentheses. And then I need to type in negative 4.1. So I'll use the symbol down here, make it negative, 4.1, close those parentheses on 4.1, and raise that to the power 3. Now, once again, my cursor is up here in the exponent. It's up here next to 3. And I need to get out of that exponent to finish typing the last symbol in this expression, which is this final parentheses to close the expression. So I'll move 1 unit to the right, and I'll close the parentheses, and I'll hit enter, and behold, I have gotten exactly the same quantity, negative 60.781, that I got before using PEMDAS and the Windows calculator. So it's nice to be able to do it all in one line, but just be careful about the make it negative symbol and about getting your cursor out of the exponent. Additionally, for another example, I could say, what if I wanted to do negative 3/10 minus the quantity 1/4 plus 0.5? Take that quantity and then square it. What is the result of all of these operations? So the first thing that I would do is I would type in this expression pretty much exactly as I saw it. The only change that I'm going to make is I'm going to put my fractions inside of parentheses of their own. So up here first, I have negative 3/10. So I will use my make it negative sign, and then I will put the fraction 3/10 in parentheses of its own. Now between this number and this other number is a symbol, and because the symbol is between two numbers, this is telling you subtract the numbers. So I'll use the subtraction sign, parentheses, that's these parentheses right here, and then I'm going to type in the fraction 1 over 4. So I get the fraction 1 over 4, and I'm going to put that in parentheses of its own. 1/4 gets combined with 0.5, and then I'm going to close those parentheses. I'm going to raise that to the power 2. Now, if I calculate that, I get an answer of negative 0.8625.